Hello everyone, it's your friend Moonhorse here, with another story. This is from Reddit user Grinchbear. Oh, I remember you. Why Rachel Left. I've been promising you guys a darker story for a little while now, and it's been a long enough day that I felt like remembering this incident. Just a little forewarning, this is not a fun story, and it certainly is not a pleasant memory. Moonhorse, if you end up reading this, I apologize sincerely if it ruins your day, because I get the feeling this story is going to make you sincerely pissed off. Oh boy. So to set the stage, I was 21 at the time, freshly out of my parents' house, living with my roommate and failing at college, and a trend that would continue for the next year or so. During this period, I met one of my friends from college, Rachel. She's the type of friend who's either out there or way out there. She's perfectly comfortable making sexual jokes and comments, being handsy with all of her friends in general, and it's pretty fun to be around when she isn't scaring the shit out of you. It's midway through the semester, and Rachel decides we need a break from our painfully bland government professor and suggests a night out. Well, I accept and call in at work to get someone to cover my shift for closing, and she drives us out to a bar around 9 p.m. To be very clear, Rachel is into girls exclusively, and if you look at her, you would probably think that since she styles herself kind of like a punk lesbian stereotype, there you go. Tight jeans with rips in them, biker boots, some kind of graphic shirt, piercings galore, jacket covered in buttons and patches. I'm positive she made herself. Did I mention piercings galore? Tattoos, and hair from her left temple back is shaved and the rest is grown out and swept to the side. Sounds like Rachel and I have vaguely similar clothing styles. I don't have tattoos and piercings, or the hair. My hair is glorious and long and it will not be cut. The rest of it, though, I'm pretty cool. We sit at the bar and drink for about 30, maybe 40 minutes, chatting away, being gross and loud like drunk 20-somethings tend to do, when this guy sidles up between us. This guy's a little taller than Rachel, about 5'9"-ish. Not really fat, but he's also not working out, if you get what I mean. There is your one joke to make this easier to get through. He at least had some idea of how to dress himself, as he had a nice-looking pair of jeans, dress shoes, suit jacket. But under it all, he had a flannel that was a size too big. A for effort, I guess. He also clearly knew how to groom himself, as he was clean-shaven, except for the borderline mutton chops he wore that complemented his greasy-looking man bun. Ooh. This guy smelled like he bathed in cologne. It almost made my eyes water, it was so strong. For now, we'll call him Chops, for his shit facial hair. And not the fact that he smelled like he bathed in aqua velva. Chops starts talking up Rachel as he cuts her off mid-sentence, asking how she's doing, if he can buy her a drink. Again, A for effort, I guess. Rachel isn't in the mood for this, but manages to politely decline any attempts at conversation he made before leaning over and trying to talk around him. This guy takes a look at me and decides this is not acceptable. What are you, his fag hag? If you aren't aware, this term refers to women who hang around gay men. I do know this, actually. Instead of braining the guy with her glass, Rachel just squints and stares at the guy while he looks between her and myself. Dude, I'm not gay. He dismisses me with a dirty look before looking back to Rachel, who's ordered another round of beers. Pint of Guinness, if anyone wonders. Good fucking taste. I get it. He's just here to scare off the betas, right? Oh, he sounds like a fucking winner. I guess he's referring to the fact that I'm broad? You don't want the squirrely-looking dudes. This is that play it safe, right? Totally understandable. I can't stand those kind of cucks either. He said cucks. Ah! Oh! Oh! Okay. He goes on for what feels like 10 minutes. I lose track of what he's saying and just text back and forth with Rachel until he puts something on the table. I look over and he's got a small bag of cocaine. Oh! The next few minutes are spent with us just staring at him as he starts listing off every kind of drug he has stashed and how he'll let Rachel have a taste if she goes home with him. She manages to dismiss him by telling him, I already got somebody, which is true. She was a fan of coke and pot. He argues and she pushes him away before trying to initiate the conversation with me again as he belts out this gem. You need to learn your fucking place. Dead silence. Rachel turns and glares at this guy while I'm wondering if I'm going to have to break up a fight as she starts talking shit. Chops gets into telling Rachel that she has no business turning him away. Ask if she's some kind of feminazi. She doesn't have the right to tell him no when he was so nice. And generally saying a bunch of nonsense you'd hear on an incel forum. Oh, boy. Things escalate. People stare as they get louder and louder until Rachel pulls a switchblade. Fucking nice! Yeah, she's one of those people. And basically tells him to fuck off before putting her knife away. Sitting back down to drink her beer and loudly telling him, people like you are the reason I'm gay. Chops starts laughing. No, you're not. I'm sorry, what? Lesbians aren't real. You've just never had a man show you what it's like to be on your hands, and at that point I have had enough. I stand and kick him really hard in the stomach. Bartender isn't happy about this, but Rachel knows her from something and vouches for me, and I get off with a warning. Chops gets up and starts saying something about how Rachel is going to learn how good a man is before slinking off. Oh boy. Normally this would be where it ends. These kind of people usually back off when threatened with violence, and when they finally get hit. Rachel and I put down 2 more rounds of beer before we head off to the toilet. We come back, both buzzing pretty hard, and Rachel offers me the last of her beer. I toss it back, and we get to talking while we wait for the alcohol to wear off. Not too long after this, I start feeling heavy, like I just put on a jacket made of lead. My head starts to hurt, and I remember feeling really tired suddenly. Oh shit. From this point, things are hazy, but to the best of my knowledge, I started swaying, and this freaked Rachel out as I stood up and almost fell to the floor. This girl tries to get me outside so I can get some air, but I'm almost a foot taller than her, and she's effectively trying to support a 250 plus pounds of me across her shoulder with my feet dragging behind her. When we're outside, I lean against the wall and start trying to clear my head. Everything's getting worse. Rachel's stopping people to see if they can help. 1 or 2 stop and assume I'm just really drunk. Here's where Chops saunters up and starts talking about how bad I look and that I need to lie down while acting all concerned. Oh boy. Rachel tells him she's got this under control and to get away with my arm over her shoulder. Chops takes my other arm and remarks how we both look like we're not doing well, that we need a place to sleep. It's important to note that Rachel was still drunk and stumbling while trying to support me as I slowly start blacking out. To most people, she looks like she's about to keel over. Chops is walking with us. I notice he slips the arm that was on my back to my front and tries to worm around to Rachel's waist while not too subtly trying to slip my arm off of him. Look, you guys aren't going to make it far like this. I don't live far. Why don't you stay there? I think I know what happened. We're not even in the end yet, but I kind of think I know what's going on here. My thoughts are pretty muddy at this point, but I eventually managed to figure out what the hell is going on. Rachel is just drunk. I feel like I'm dying. This guy's attention is focused on her while trying to get rid of me. All the while he's remarking how good she looks and how she can share his bed. I remember that we both left our drinks unattended and she didn't finish hers off, and then it clicks in my head. Yeah, Rohypnol. He put Rohypnol in her drink, didn't he? I got drugged by drinking beer, and this guy was convinced that she was going under and was probably planning to do whatever the hell he wanted. Yeah, he put the fucking... He's a date rapist. He's a fucking piece of shit. Okay. Here's where my memory drops out almost entirely, but on Rachel's account, I grabbed the guy's shirt and fell over onto him, pinning him between myself and a parked car, with, quote, the angriest look she's ever seen. I lean back and start slamming my forehead into Chops' face over and over again. The last hit I missed and apparently let go and hit the edge of the car's roof before falling over next to the guy. According to Rachel, my breathing was really ragged and sounded like someone having an asthma attack, and for a few minutes she was concerned I might be dying. I woke up in my apartment sometime after noon the next day feeling like someone was pushing needles into my eyes. I closed the curtains over my windows and fall to my knees with my head against the wall, throw up on my legs. Rachel, thank God, was sleeping in the living room and came to drag me to the bathroom to get cleaned up and tell me what happened. I declined going to the hospital because I didn't want to get some kind of lecture from my family, stupid I know, and to tell her to see if my neighbor is in. Joel is an EMT. Thankfully, he was in, and he gave me a look over and seriously recommended I go to the hospital to get looked at because I'd pretty clearly been given a roofie and should have a doctor look at my head. Yeah. A few weeks after this, Rachel calls me telling me she's been threatened with a lawsuit over assault of the guy that tried to drug her. Allegedly, he'd gotten hit so hard that he had not only a broken nose, but an 8-ball fracture that was threatening to sue her for damages, psychological trauma as well. When in reality, she didn't do anything. It wasn't long after this that I found out Rachel's been getting bombarded with multiple daily threats and notices of potential lawsuits. She's been losing sleep because she had someone leaving notes taped to her door, banging on her door late at night, calling her phone with threatening voicemails. She's even convinced there was a car following her for a while. This all built up till I get her phone call letting me know she's leaving the state to live with some friends to get away from whoever the fuck is threatening her. I haven't seen her since, but sometimes I get a Facebook message checking in and let me know that she's alright. She's still just as frightening, but still the fun, earnest person I remember her being. Just wish she didn't have to leave because someone threatened her because of something I did. Okay. So, first off, your friend Rachel sounds like a fucking badass, and I would absolutely love to party with both of you. And, I mean, let me go ahead and let Moonhorse let you in on a couple of secrets here. I'm not the kind of unicorn who goes clubbing, shall we say, but I have been in several bars, mainly because I go to indie concerts, stuff like P-Lander Z, and I saw Ninja Sex Party a few times. So, I've been known to go to the bar a couple of times. I used to go with my dad, too, even when there weren't shows, so just go to the bar. So, kids, if you're young, if you're new to this, if you've never really been to a bar or anything like that, here's a piece of advice, which is a sad but true piece of advice from your friend Moonhorse. If you're sitting at the bar and you are the only one there, you don't have any friends, and you're drinking, this is what happens if you have to go. Let's say you got to go to the bathroom, or you got to go out to your car to get something, or something like that, right? Okay. Either finish your drink and pass the glass to the bartender, or just to the other edge of the bar so the bartender can get rid of it. Or, when you come back, get a new drink. Do not ever drink a drink that was left on the bar. Because that is exactly how shit like this happens. Scumbag motherfuckers like this asshole will do shit like that. Never leave your drink unattended. So if you're with friends, and you're the only one going to the bathroom, but they're all there and they're all watching everything, then it's okay. But if you're the only one, or if like you're with friends and everybody goes to the bathroom, get a new round. Do not fucking drink an unattended drink. That is always asking for trouble. It's always a bad thing. Because then fuckwads like this tend to show up. Secondly, Grinch Bear, my wonderful friend. I know this is, as you said, this is a while ago. This is not a new story, so there's probably not much you can do now. But let me give you guys some advice for the future as well, since we're just talking about Moonhorse's partying advice here, I guess. Second, if this ever happens, even if nothing more than you get drugged happens, nothing more than someone spiked your drink and then this happens, abso-fucking-lutely call the police. Absolutely go to the police. I understand what you're saying, Grinch Bear. You had family, you didn't want to get this whole lecture or whatever, but this is the reason why you have to call the police, okay? This is the reason why you talk to someone in charge. You tell the bar that you get in touch with the management at the bar that you were at, and you let them know what happened, and they can find out with the police department, who the fuck did this. They have security cameras, they can check that shit, but they can't check it unless you let them know. So, you absolutely must tell them. And this is the reason. People who do that shit, and I really fucking hate to say this, but people who do that shit, you are not the first one they have done it to. Statistically speaking, you will not be the first. These are the kind of motherfuckers who do this shit often. And they are fucking horrible. So if it happens, absolutely tell someone. Because if they drugged you, they know who to look for. This isn't like, we think someone in this train station may have committed a crime, and we're looking for someone who vaguely matches this description. The point that works with this is, let's just say you're like this group. You're like Rachel and Grinch Bear. There's two of you. You're at the bar. This exact thing happens. You notify the police department. You notify the bar. Your description of chops might be a little off, and you may not know, and your memory might be kind of fuzzy. But there's two things the department and bar staff are going to know. They're going to know you were there. They're going to know Rachel was there. They're going to look for the two of you. They're going to see that guy. That's how that works. You're going to be their markers. If they can find you and whoever you're with, they can watch you from that security camera until the altercation or any kind of altercation happens. They can keep their eye on you. So yes, if you plan on going out to a club or a party or something like that, do not ever leave your drink unattended. Rule 1. If at any point in time, whatever you're drinking, you feel like it smells funny, it tastes funny, it looks funny, if it makes you uneven in the slightest, if the harmony of the universe says that the vibrations coming off this red Solo cup have a negative connotation, pour the shit out and get another one. I realize there's a whole thing about, you shouldn't waste. No, in this setting, yeah, absolutely just get something fresh. Absolutely. Because if you feel slightly off, it could be something far worse. So don't ever fucking gamble with that. That being said, always remember to drink water as well. Water helps. Water keeps you from getting hangovers and shit like that. You have to be hydrated. Hangovers are a symptom of dehydration. Or something like that. At least that's what I've heard. Drinking water works for me. Anyway, yes, absolutely be careful out there, kids. It's a dangerous world, and I worry about you. Moonhorse loves you, kids. I really do. So thank you all for watching. And if you've enjoyed this story and you have your own story that you'd like to submit, you can do that by going to r/Moonhorse Stories and submitting it there. And if you would like to support this channel, you can do that by going to Patreon or by buying stuff in the merch shop. I also have a bunch of tiers now set up on Patreon because Patreon told me I had to have tiers on Patreon. Apparently you have to have buttons for everything. I don't know. I'm just doing what they said. They're kind of fucking weird. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, have a good night and be careful. I love you. Good night now. Bye.